Hello neighbors, today we're doing chicken gizzard. In Korean, it's called 닭똥집. Yes, funny name. I'll explain later. Two Korean recipes. The first one, of course, is fried. Anything chicken and you deep fry it, it tastes delicious. I'm gonna show you how to cut it, and I'm also gonna show you how to make it tender. You know, we're not gonna lose the crispiness because that's why you eat chicken gizzard, but you know, we don't want you to break your jaws, you know. And then recipe number two is the more traditional way. Like if you go late night, let's say to a commercial district, you'll see 포장마차s and they'll serve this stir-fried chicken gizzard. You take a few bites with the chili peppers that are in there, and then the suppressed emotions from that week, it just gradually, it comes out like a poem. Take a look at fresh chicken gizzard, aka 닭똥집. I love saying that. 닭똥집. Now at the Korean mart, they'll probably use the word kunwi, which is more like the scientific term, right? Like the more proper term. They usually come like this. So in Korean, when you spell 닭똥집, that middle word, 똥, that means poop. So for the longest time growing up, I thought this was basically like chicken butt or chicken anus, and I stayed away from it for a long time. My parents, especially my dad, really liked eating this because it has that crunchy texture. And I was just like, why would I eat that when I have delicious chicken thigh? But the name is not accurate. This is not chicken butt or chicken booty. Daniel, flip to a visualization. I don't know if the secret is out, but chickens don't have teeth. So when they nibble on corn, how do they actually mush that up in their stomach? It's this muscle. This is a very tough muscle. If you take a look, it's been working out, doing a lot of crunches, and so it's very tough. The first recipe, we're gonna do a deep fry. Give them a nice wash under cold water. We'll rinse away any leftover debris or anything weird that you see. Put some flour over these guys. We're not gonna bake them into a cake. No, that would be the worst cake ever. Flour does a great job in getting rid of the impurities. It'll stick on kind of like glue. A lot of sushi stores, this is also how they prep octopus, right? You have to get in between all of those suction cups and flour. You wanna put it into a larger container, mix it around. All right, and those are looking good. By the way, if you see little pieces of fat left over on the gizzard itself, you can just remove that, that's fine. Or sometimes you'll see little specks of yellow. You can just remove that with your hands. And so beautiful and so clean. Now my preferred way to cut this is from top to bottom. Now most restaurants or a lot of places, they will just cut these individual pieces and you have to bite into this big piece. But look at this. You're gonna get lockjaw by the time you finish biting through it. Cut it in half this way, like this. And take a look, that's the inside of the muscle, like that. Right now it looks long, but when we boil it, it's gonna shrivel up like this, and it's gonna look pretty small. And it's gonna turn into just the right bite-sized piece to fry it or to stir fry it. Let's do another one, right down like this. And finish. Now the key step here, my friends, is that we have to make these guys tender. The best thing to do is boil them. Now we're gonna boil them for 30 minutes and it's gonna make them very tender. I see a lot of Korean recipes, they skip this step and it gets very crunchy. So I think Koreans are very used to the extra crunchy flavor, but if you're new to gizzards, I would recommend making them slightly tender like this. And we're gonna do this step for either recipe, okay? Let's bring this pot of water to a boil. Little bit of salt in so that they get seasoned as they boil. Once it's boiling, let's put our guys inside. Let's put a timer for 30 minutes. And for the first 5 minutes, we'll let it bubble violently on high heat for around 10 minutes and then reduce it to like a medium low so it could just gently simmer for the rest of the 20 minutes. And neighbors, while we're waiting, wipe everything down, you know, do a little bit of the dishes, okay? Because we're gonna need to bring it back. Long time ago, I used to wait till the end, but now I clean as I go. I'm reforming. All right, that's 30 minutes, y'all. Now, important thing, we're gonna save 1/3 cup of this broth. This broth is actually pretty good. You can take a sip. We're gonna save it for the marinade just a little bit. We'll pour this out. Put it back into a mixing bowl. Teaspoon of salt, 1 full tablespoon of minced garlic. We gotta have that garlic in there. A teaspoon of minced ginger. Whoops, where did that go? Oh, it landed, good. Guys, a few cracks of black pepper. Now that itself is enough. If you wanna take up the flavor, we can use some curry powder. I'm using just like this instant curry powder that's sold at Korean market. If you don't have a Korean mart, you can also just use Cajun seasoning. We can add about a tablespoon in. And this curry powder does a really good job of masking any like gamey smell. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up. All right, and you can see it's very dry. So that's where we're gonna use that stock broth that we cooked it with. Wow, you get a very strong flavor. Oh, this is nice. You can already smell it. And then we're gonna place this in the refrigerator for around 30 minutes. All right, now we're gonna move on to the batter, and here, use whatever batter you like. You wanna make it like KFC, like a thick crust and like flaky, go that way. You wanna make it like deep Southern style in the States, go that way. For me, I like a light coating on top, like very brittle, kind of like tempura, but a little bit more. All right, let's pull this out of the refrigerator. Ooh, does not look one bit appetizing. But again, be patient. Now let's take this and move this to a plastic bag. We don't want that much liquid. Then I'm gonna use 튀김 가루. You can find this at the Korean Mart. This is Korean frying mix. Now, Koreans love to use this to fry anything, and it tastes really good. So I'm gonna use this today. If you don't have a Korean Mart nearby, go ahead and use all-purpose flour. That's fine. This is AP flour, 밀가루. Now, they also added a little bit of rice flour, salt, garlic powder, and then onion powder. So that's the combination for this. So if you want to copy this, you can do 3/4 AP flour, 1/4 rice flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of garlic powder. Stir it up, and you got this. Now, if you don't have rice flour on hand, just skip that. Just use 1 cup of AP flour, throw in some salt, garlic powder, and then onion powder. Mix it up. Get this well coated. Shake it up. All right, good. It's well coated. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of our frying mix. Now, if you want a light, crispy skin on top, use very cold water. So I just pulled this out of the refrigerator. You can see. Let me draw you a heart. We're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to do 1 cup. Okay. Add that in. And when you're frying this, you don't want to overmix this. You just want to make sure that it gets incorporated and that it is a mixture. Place this in the refrigerator or in the freezer to keep this very cold until our oil is ready. Get some vegetable oil hot. Put some wooden chopsticks into the oil. It needs to get hotter. Now I think the oil is good. We'll just dip it into here. Just drop it into there. Now, if you go to fry chicken gizzard raw without boiling it, there's a lot of moisture in it and it splatters tons of oil. So it's very notorious in Korea. A lot of Korean recipes don't boil their chicken gizzards, so you'll see them splattering everywhere. Now, my friends, as it sits out, it's gonna get cold, so have some ice ready and throw in some ice just to keep it extra cool. Now, I'm gonna double fry these just to get them extra crispy. So we're gonna pull them out right when they start to turn brown. Then we're gonna crank up the heat and then give them a second fry, right? I'm gonna pull them out now, okay, don't worry. And these little stragglers, they actually take away heat from the oil because the oil is still frying them. So after each batch, make sure you scoop them out. Woo, look at that sound, guys. And then we're gonna put this batch back in for a second fry, and then we're gonna really get that nice brown color on them. Put it all at once, move it around. Not a long time, just so that it starts getting more brown. That's good. I'll turn off the heat. Wow, take a look at that, guys. Beautiful. While they're hot, give them a good amount of salt, then a little bit of black pepper. Look at this beauty. Woo! Oh my God. Seasoned perfectly. There's no smell of gaminess anywhere. Perfect amount of batter. It's not bready or anything like that. Ultra crispy. Slide this on over. And then you see that natural crater that's formed right there? We gotta get some sauce. Chindokgi hot sauce. It's kind of like a Korean version of Tabasco, but with a little bit more kick and personality. It's destined for this gizzard. Oh my gosh. And mayonnaise works beautifully as well. I'll just put this on the side in case you don't want mayonnaise. I'm using the Japanese Kewpie. And just for some color, or if you like some spice, that Korean Cheongyang chili pepper. And there it is, my friends. Woo! Not yet. We gotta take a little picture. Oh man, to get it done properly, this one just looks perfect. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Get a little bit of hot sauce and a little bit of mayo. Oh my God. Give it a shot. Perfection.
Perfect?
Oh wow.
I love the crunchiness, but the batter is not so big, so it feels really light.
Yeah. I also like gizzard because it's very cheap. It's like 500 grams for I think like $4, $5.
Really?
Yeah, at least here in Korea.
Cheaper than pork salad.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. That's it. That was nice. Don't make up your mind just yet. Here's version 2. This one is very popular, and you'll see it being served in like aluminum foils over like a portable butane gas stove. Perfect for late night drinks. For the second version, we're gonna start off right after we finish boiling our gizzards. This should be around 250 grams, just to show you in cups. Okay, this looks like one heaping cup. All right, the second version, this is a late night food. It should be strong upfront flavors. So we're gonna do 3 Cheongyang chili peppers. This is the Korean chili peppers. It's pretty spicy. You can substitute it with 3 jalapeno peppers. I'm gonna cut them into small bite-sized pieces. And then the other key ingredient is, of course, garlic. 9 or 10 cloves. Let's trim off the ends. Chop them into maybe a half, or if they're really big, a third piece. Okay? And these 2 ingredients, that's all we need. Let's get a good amount of oil in. Let's start with our best weapon, garlic. And once you start to see it sizzle away, our star of the show, our chicken gizzards, and I want to get a nice browning on those. All right, look at those pieces go. That's starting to look good. Let's move the content to one side. Leave some space on the bottom. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I want it to dance a little bit on the frying pan. 2 tablespoons in. That heat makes it taste deeper and taste better. Get the soy sauce in there. All right. Hit it with some black pepper. Then let's add in those chili peppers. Ooh, it's smelling good already. Mix that in. Guys, we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of honey. And once you add the honey, you can turn off the heat. Ooh, my gosh. Then we're gonna hit it with a dash of sesame oil. All right, just a little bit. Add a little bit of sesame seeds, and then take a look. That's what it looks like. We're gonna hit it. Oh my God, that's amazing. Guys, it tastes so good. I'm gonna taste a little bit of the garlic along with this. It's superb. I love it with the chili pepper, guys. I'm gonna put a little bit of mayonnaise down. All right, I'm using Japanese mayo. I'm gonna add a dash of soy sauce to the bottom. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of our chili peppers on the sides. And that is it. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Alright, so neighbors, which version did you like? Now, I hope at the very least you walk away with this video not thinking chicken gizzard is chicken butt, chicken booty, and like, ooh, I'm not eating that. Be open to it. And if you don't make it at home, you see it at a restaurant, raise your hand and go for the chicken gizzard appetizer. Yeah.